stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. I'd be lying if I said I ain't understand, my nigga. Cause who you gon' follow when the leaders all get swallowed? You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. I'd be lying if I said I ain't understand, my nigga. Cause who you gon' follow when the leaders all get swallowed? You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. You ain't a man till you stop chasing your friends, my nigga. Think for yourself, make your own plans, my nigga. I'd be lying if I said I ain't understand, my nigga. Cause who you gon' follow when the leaders all get swallowed?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Hi. Do you secrete a reading dysfunction? Do you have problems putting your words in a colostomy bag? That's why I've cremated this new program called Book on Phonics. I'll teach you how to testiculate my way.
Mic check, mic check. Can I get a mic check, guys? Can I get a mic check, guys? How my mic sounding? Can I get a mic check? I got a new filter. I just want to make sure it works. I ain't have a chance to test it. Can I get a mic check? What's good, Mike? Can I get a mic check, please? We good, we good. Embrace the grace. How you doing, sis? Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening, one and all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It is Wednesday night. I'm a little late, 9 p.m. But we are continuing with our book club. This is the book club. We are reading the sister, Shahrazad Ali, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, 1989. As when this book was released. We are on chapter 6, Communications. I checked out my last video and I realized I wasn't really going in depth. I was just kind of reading. So I will stop from time to time. If there's something you guys want me to elaborate on in the chat, please put it in the chat if you want me to delve deeper. But I really want to get through this book so we can get an understanding and get to the next one. And shout out to everybody that's coming through. I appreciate y'all. Like the video, share the video. Shout out to the replay gang, and shout out to the people that's here. We got Young World in the building. What's up, my guy? Lady Navor, the best moderator on YouTube. My boy D fishing at a fish. He be fishing. He be fishing. PJ's big dog. My younger brother, Big Mike in the building. How you doing, bro? Embrace the Grace. She has a great channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Embrace the Grace. So we're gonna get to reading. They'll come in as they come in. Y'all know we do an hour reading. Once the hour's up, we'll go ahead and shut it down and get back to business. I pray you guys all had a great day. I pray you're having a great week. We are on chapter 6 of this book, Communications. Today's black woman is forever complaining and demanding that the black man communicate with her. By this, she means she wants the black man to talk to her and tell her what's on his mind. Despite the fact that whenever he attempts to communicate his ideas to her, she responds in the wrong way. The burden of the black woman complaints rests on the premise that he does not like or accept the way she talks to him. She comes at him wrong. If she comes at him wrong, all systems shut down and he does not talk to her at all. Did I read this already? Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I read this already. I ain't marked my page. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, well, we'll go through it again. I ain't gonna worry about it. We'll make it through it. Because I didn't mark my page. I usually flip my pages and I didn't. I didn't last week. So hold on. Yeah, I did mark it. We were actually on page 68. My bad, y'all. So if y'all want to hear that chapter, get back. We're on page 68. So scratch that. My apologies, guys. So starting off from where we left on page 68 last week. If the black woman, and is this still communications? Yeah, this is still the communication chapter, guys. So this is still the communication chapter. Yep. Okay. So if the black woman is sincere in her affections and is genuinely trying to help the black man, he will be able to accept what she says and implement into their lives for wider success. Of course, when the black woman helps the black man develop and reach his desired potential, she experiences fear that he will outgrow her and leave her for another woman. I think that's fair for all of us to agree with. We all hear the stories every day of how a black woman supposedly stuck by a black man and helped him build up, and then he left her for a white woman, or went on to a woman he deemed better than her. So I think that's a fair assessment. She's saying when he says, "I'm doing this for us," she is not sure which us he is talking about. She may remind him about what she has helped him do and that he would not have been able to do it if it were not for her. Mike said Kanye West. She is ever seeking opportunities to get the black man to bow down and worship her for being her wonderful self. When she accomplishes something free of ulterior motive, her man will recognize this and pile on the accolades. So she's saying, like, men, especially, I mean, just I can only speak from my perspective, right? Because I'm only me, right? I love when my wife do stuff just to do it, right? Just to get it out the way, just to make my life easy, just to make life easy for us, right? So, I mean, as a man, you should recognize that, right? You should let your wife know, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate you for that, right? And not only that, reward her for such things. You know what I mean? Compliments, doing something that might lighten her load, or taking her out, or planning a special vacation when a certain task gets finished. You know what I mean? Those type of things. Where was I at? When she accomplished something free of ulterior motive, her man will recognize this and pile on the accolades. But if her idea is anything but clean, then he shouldn't get too excited. She has heard stories of women who help their men succeed and then he leaves them. She is afraid this will happen to her. If she behaves right and does not create any problems or become combative, she will be well rewarded for her trust. She will be taken care of and loved, and her children will be fathered and become heir to the black man's accomplishments. This is how black legacies are made. Simple enough. Another reason the black woman fails in her confrontations with the black man is because she attempts to use the white woman's analyses and social priorities as her mentor regarding how she should get along with the black man. This is very wrong. White America issues are completely different from Black American issues. The white race understands the necessity for open forum discussions of their relationship problems. Blacks are sensitive about the defects in Black life and fly into a tizzy at the mere mention of interpersonal problems indigenous to ex-slaves. This refusal to acknowledge the nitty-gritty problems have resulted in them being ignored and assumed unimportant. Even worse, it left the Black woman and the Black man to devise their own solutions. Blacks have no published scholastic analogies about how the Black man and the Black woman should get along. The inside story of life between Black men and Black women have been tiptoed around as if it were a time bomb. I think that's good to say too. If we look at today with the YouTube form, social media, right? A lot of this stuff is being exposed and talked about when things were just talked about either amongst men or amongst women in hush circles and, you know, girlfriend groups and barbershops, right? So a lot of this stuff is coming to the forefront, especially now with the blow up of social media. The inside story of life between Black men and Black women have been tiptoed around as if it were a time bomb. These problems exist and they are monumental. They hold the key to the Black man and the Black woman's personal success. Agreed. We need each other at the end of the day, and beginning of it and at lunchtime, right? A problem is only a question. Any problem, that's a bar. She said, a problem is only a question. Any problem can be broken into a mathematical equation to which a formula is applied. If the formula is applied, the answer will be forthcoming. The answer is the solution. Blacks have not approached their problems from a mathematical standpoint and assumed there are too many variables for similarities to exist. But there are similarities. The relationship problems between Black men and Black women are only different in the degree to which they are demonstrated. And Blacks have never honestly and descriptively addressed these problems to the Black nation as a whole. Y'all know how I feel about this and what she's saying right now, right? We lie to each other as a nation, you know, 2 ways from Sunday, right? If you do not, what's good, E? How you doing? A1 Hoop Zone in the building, right? If you do not get to the truth of a problem, you can't assess it for what it really is, right? You got to get down to what it really is so that way you can be honest and actually assess what's the benefits, what's the damage, it do the risk outweigh the weight, you know what I mean? And that way you can handle a problem honestly. But until you do that, until you're honest about there being problems, there will never be a solution. Never. Right? The truth about the depth and span of these problems is painful, which is why Black folks never want to deal with it. This truth is also embarrassing and unwelcome for public scrutiny. But the Black man has been negligent in his duty to control the Black woman, and the Black woman has been scandalous in her public and private dealings with the Black man and his offspring, right? So again, this is where I put the onus on Black men. We are responsible for our women, right? You have to maintain and control your woman. Don't let these people fool you when they keep talking about partnerships and, oh, we should come to comment on. No, the responsibility of the household and that relationship is going to fall on the man, right? Isn't it strange how you get into a 50-50 relationship, but when things go bad, they still always blame the man? Right? Isn't it strange how y'all folks got equal pool in the house, but when something go bad with the kids, you get blamed for it, and it's the mom did their best, right? You take leadership, you take over the leadership, and you control it because you're the one who's going to be held responsible at the end of the day. Okay, it's not about nothing else but responsibility. Who's going to be responsible for what? You're going to be held responsible as a man. Right? Blah 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 blah. I read that already. That's disrespectful. I read that already. Not the blah blah blah. The blah 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 is disrespectful. The time is past when this topic can be swept aside and replaced with other life priorities that are impossible to attain anyway until the root of the situation is addressed and remedied. Self-explanatory. Relationship standards have changed. But change does not always mean better. Sometimes it just means different. So I think that explains a lot that's going on today. Times are different. Things are different. We ain't our grandmamas, right? Okay, but your grandmothers was better women, right? Your grandfathers, even though they had their issues and their quirks, they were better men, right? So just because it's new, just because it's different, doesn't mean it's better, right? I think the 1999 and the 1999 Mercedes-Benz S500 and the 1999 Lexus LS400 are better than some of the cars that's today. That's made today. So these cars are new, right? They're shinier, but they don't run better. They don't ride better. They don't drive better. Right? Companionship between the black man and the black woman has turned into a living hell, whether they live together or not. The hell has a pattern and affects the dwellers of every black household, and it must stop. The black man must communicate this to the black woman, and she must hear him with her ears and her heart, not her pocketbook, not her career, not her education. In referring to the black man, the black woman has an affinity to use the terminology, my man. And she prefers to call the black man her boyfriend, my date, my honey, my friend, or my beau. She has a difficult time saying my man because she does not like the sound of power that goes with the word man. The word man makes her uncomfortable because it rings so superior and authoritative in her ears. As a consequence, black women in the 30s and 40s and 50s go around referring to black men as a boyfriend. The black man is not a boy. He does not like being called a boy. It is a distasteful title he prefers not to answer to. The black woman in her stubbornness still calls him her boyfriend. She should refer to her black man as her man because that's what he is, a man. The language itself is euphoric. When the black woman speaks well of the black man, it is elevating to all who hear her, and it is contagious. Better yet, the black woman should try telling the black man good things about himself to his face, looking him straight in the eyes. She must learn a new talk, dialogue filled with complimentary words. The black man should commend the black woman when he sees her demonstrating an attempt to make a positive change in the way that she talks to him. At first, she will be very uncomfortable and uneasy and will feel out of kilter, but these feelings will subside as she relaxes. Prior to her giving in, she may try to use a reverse psychology on you and say, "Why should I do it? You don't." Or, "You don't live up to such and such yourself." Or, "What are you going to change if I do all that?" Or, "Look at what you do." These kind of flippant comments can be answered by telling her, "I am a man and I'm taking responsibility for my family and my nation." Responses like, "Because I'm the man and I'm in charge," or "Because I'm the boss here," or "Because I'm the man and you're going to be like I want you to be, or you ain't going to be at all," work just as well. Improvise. The black man should not be ashamed to admit that he does not have all the answers all at once. On examination, the black woman does not have all the answers either. She usually does not have any of the answers. She would be resistance against the man's ideas and not have anything to replace them with. She communicates most of her responses by saying the word no. When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, friction ensues and they destruct. This does not apply to the black man. The black nation must implement across the board standards of home life that encompass every black person in every black family. The plan must be the same throughout in order to see unified progress. The results of not having a national formal plan useful to all the people is the confusion and degradation we have today. So I totally agree with that. It's like the conversations we have here on YouTube. Everybody's looking for a solution for the community, but everybody's got their own answers. So if everybody's got a different answer, no one can come to a common solution, right? There's no set of rules in particular for everyone to follow. You have your rules, you have your rules. My house runs this way, your house runs that way, right? It's not uniform. The Black woman's first change must be an oral one. She must learn enough self-control to keep herself from talking to the Black man like he ain't nothing. Many times, the Black woman will refuse to cater to the Black man because she claims he wants a mama or he has a mama complex. They make these charges because many Black men want consolation. They want to be consoled, and there is nothing weak or lacking in them for wanting this. The Black woman's job is to be a consoler. Console means to give comfort, solace, and to make them feel better, make them less sad. The job of the mother and the wife when it comes to consolation is the same. It is not different or opposite. It is the same expression that should be shown to the Black man and the Black child, no matter what age they are. Consoling is a female duty and one she is good at. Y'all want me to run that back? Do y'all need me to run that back? How many conversations have y'all seen on YouTube, or right? Or better yet, podcasts, or better yet, in real life in a group of girls, right? Oh, girl, you look great, even though that girl look a hot mess, right? Oh, girl, you a 10, even though she a 3. Put a group of them together. Like, it takes an hour for them to stop giving compliments to each other. They can give them to each other, but can't give them to their man. Consoling is a female duty and one she is good at. Consolation and stroking are necessary means of communication, just as the desire for acceptance and approval, love and agreement in parentheses. Giving consolation is not mothering or wifing. It is womaning. Be a woman. Provide comfort to the nation instead of ramshackling it. Black women withhold comfort for a variety of reasons and meter it out as they feel it is deserved. The Black man who commits what the Black woman considers a sin is not able to get consoled. Any failure that makes her feel disappointed is not rewarded with consolation. Of course, when the Black man fails, his greatest desire is to be consoled instead of hearing, I told you it wouldn't work anyway, or you should have known that it wouldn't work, or why don't you just stop and get a job? The Black man is a recovering slave and does not need a woman who is constantly saying that he doesn't amount to much. He is something good. And if the Black woman talks to him right, supports him, and consoles him, he will heal and show the world how really great he is. But since he is virtually alone, abandoned, and disregarded, he does not always have the spirit to go to work. He needs a purpose. What's good with you, Marcus? I see Jay in the building too. How y'all doing? Knowledge and relationships, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. We are on page 72 of The Black Man's Guide of Understanding a Black Woman. Again, a lot of people say these books, but they haven't read them. A lot of people heard of these books, but they haven't read them, or they haven't heard them. So I got these chapters up so you guys can refer to it whenever someone says it. We're on part 4. The black woman is unaware that this is a major continent where the black woman, is unaware that this is the major continent where the Black woman is out of control. The United States of America, North America, is the major continent where the Black woman is out of control, where she has rejected her responsibilities and does not recognize the man as the head of the family. Again, the memory of the suffering of slavery takes its toll. Slavery was designed to disconnect the Black man and the Black woman. Today, we see long-term effects of the disconnection on American soil. Some black women are so removed from these type of historical roots that they blame all of their problems on the other victim of this racial conspiracy, the black man. Come on now, YouTube. There we go. Boop. They are more concerned with dressing, jewelry, politics, sororities, church, public opinion, and the job. It seems the black woman who boasts of holding the most prestigious job title is the most difficult to reach. The so-called successful black woman who earns a gargantuan paycheck believes she is the best with all of her bases loaded. She doesn't realize that her choices leave her lonely and hostile and disliked by the group she longs to impress the most, the black man. Oh, she may say she is having fun, having more fun without a man than she had with one. This is not true. There is no such existence for the black woman. She is not complete unless she has a man. She is just a coward who does not want to deal with the black man on his terms. And she is at her wit's end to devise a scheme that will make him surrender to her. Y'all know what that remind me of? If y'all on Instagram, they got that new trend going around, right? Where it's like 1% of the time I'm doing this and then the rest is show. Or what's the other one? It say I'm 30 and the clock is ticking. Then it show a stitch with all the stuff they supposedly having fun doing. That's kind of what that remind me of. It's like they overcompensate for it, right? Because if why would you address it if you know you live in your best life? If it is your best life, why would you even address it? And she is at her wit's end to devise a scheme that will make him surrender to her. She has a boss complex and exaggerates her worth. She's cute and necessary. She's cute and necessary, but she is not more valuable than a black. She's cute and necessary, but she is not more valuable than a black man. They forgot a comma right there. No one is. The black woman deep inside her heart wants to surrender, but she wants to be coerced. She wants to be convinced, according to her own barometer, that her man really, really loves her. Right now, the only barometer she examines is whether or not her man is seeing another woman. When she is unsure of herself and teetering on making a wrong decision about something, she wants the black man to take charge of the situation and take responsibility for her. It is very difficult for the black woman to have constant confidence in her own decisions because she knows she doesn't see the road clearly. She is unequipped to lead in that way. So in her life's travels, she tries to look at everything at the same time instead of recognizing the clear path. Things look different according to the point of view they are seen by. Perception is the root of what the eyes see and the ears hear. If the black woman would just change her perception of what submission and surrender means, she could have some peace. She cannot have this peace until the black man takes up the banner of change. It is a massive undertaking that only the wise will survive, but only the wise will survive anyway. That those who can see no further than Gucci or Balenciaga will not make it. It said Panasonic, but I put Balenciaga in there because, you know, it's 2023. Will not make it. Material gain will not and has not solved the problems between the black man and the black woman. They serve only as a temporary distraction and an expensive one. That is the finish. That is completion of chapter 6. We are on to chapter 7. This is family relations on page 73. Thanks for rocking with me, guys. The family relationships of the black woman must be examined if the black man desires to know what circumstances and personalities produced her. If her parents and siblings were hellraisers, fighting and arguing all the time, the black man can be sure it will be a rocky road living with her. The black woman can only live what she knows, and there is no magic to a wedding ceremony or marriage certificate that will instantaneously correct her ideas about how life should be lived. Her home life and prior relationships with men during her childhood will have great bearing on how she treats her husband. Human behavior is the result of training, repetitive instructions, and familiarity of environment. We talk about this all the time. Your femininity is not conditional. You being a good woman is not conditional. You being a man and making sound decisions is not conditional. These are things that are born of environment and habit. You make it a habit of doing the right thing. You make it a habit of being correct. You make it a habit of making wise decisions. These are not things you could just turn on and off like a light. Can you train yourself? Yes, but you have to be willing. You have to have the not just an open mind, but the correct mind state, the correct mindset to break your current programming to move on to a new one. It's simply what it is, guys. The black woman is known to take her family's side against the black man if push comes to shove. If a member of her family does not like her man, she will often ask the man to be nicer to that particular relative, so the relative will form a better opinion and accept him. She is more apt to concede that if a family member dislikes him, there must be a legitimate reason than to stick up for her black man and try to get her family to change. I ain't gonna say no names. She is easily swayed by her family to believe that her man's faults are so visible that everyone he contacts can spot them. She also has the tendency to try to force the black man to live up to the requirements of her family. She would consult them, confide in them, and take their advice. Sometimes she will refrain from making a decision on her own until she checks with her family. Many of them consult their family on every instruction a black man gives. She is known to take her family's advice on everything from keeping house to bedroom protocol. Sometimes, if the black woman is angry with the black man, her family will adopt the same attitude and side with her against him without even knowing what happened. The black woman also has a tendency to take sides with her mother against her father. After all, he is still just another man. And again, like we learned at the first beginning chapters, the programming for young girls start at an early age. Again, with the contradictions that the mother puts, again, the contradicting relationship that the mother has with the father, right? Go back to chapter 1. After all, he is still just another man. The black man is generally thought of as wrong no matter what the topic, especially if he is not doing something the black man wants him to do or does not have an acceptable reason for abstaining. The black woman extends these same privileges to her girlfriends. Here we go with the girlfriends. The relationship with her friends are of vast priority and importance because she can count on them to give her sympathy and understanding about her problems at home. Black women laugh at each other when it comes to covering up or supporting a story to the black man, and they feel no guilt about it. It is another club rule. It is another sisterhood rule. It is a given among black women that some things cannot be presented or discussed in front of a black man. They call this girl talk. The men prefer to call it what it is. It's gossip. They will stay on the phone for hours discussing and debating other people's problems. They will yak around the clock. But there is another level of conversation that the black man does not hear and does not know exists. Most of this is classified as some more girl talk, but it is of a more vile nature, and filthy language and references are exclusively reserved for the discussion of the black man. This conversation is protected from the ears of the black man because black women know that the subject matter will shock and appall them. Shock and appall him. My apologies. It is during this conversation that black women laugh at and make fun of the black man and brag about the successes of their tricks played on him. They laugh at how he talks, walks, how he dresses, what he does for a living, and how he performs in bed. All black men get grouped together during these sessions, and they have no special loyalty to any man, whether he is their husband or not. The black woman has perfected the art of deception, and she can fool the black man into thinking she admires something, and then later on with the girl, she may go back and tell them what a fool he is. Whenever the black man manages to win an argument, get his way, or make the black woman submit to something, she calls in the troops to discuss the problem and get advice on how to handle it. The worst result is that she will have to admit the black man is right, so she searches and researches among other women until she finds a solution. She stops at nothing to prove him wrong. It may be days later, but she would not drop the issue until she gets him to admit he made a mistake or doesn't know something. They will also devise very intricate and deceptive tests among their friends or relatives. They believe themselves to be the ultimate test givers, and the black man's actions under the rules of the test determine the grade he receives. She will set the black man up and see if he will respond to the sexual advances of another woman. She may use a family member or a friend he doesn't know of. Whatever the appointed actress reports is what the black woman will believe. She naturally believes a woman who claims that her man tried to seduce her or made a pass at her. This confirms the suspicion she has had all the while, and all hell breaks loose. The black man is so trusting that he is surprised that they actually set him up. He must remember that he cannot trust her. Left to her own warped devices, she would create confusion and put the black man in hell about it by blaming him. She cannot be trusted, nor can her motives be trusted until she is trained, and she is hard to train to behave properly. Sometimes the entire family structure is tainted with wrong ideas and wrong treatment of the black man. Her family will show misplaced loyalty to her by using the principles that blood is thicker than mud, men will be men, and a nigga ain't shit. These principles are not always at work in his family, but the black woman is perfectly comfortable saying negative things about the black man to his mother, while also belonging to the black woman's secret allegiance club. Sometimes the mother will agree with the daughter-in-law, be sympathetic, and tell her how to handle him. All black women are familiar with the experience of trying to get a black man to do something and he refuses to do it. Therefore, all of them understand the predicament of trying to live with a defiant black man, the one who is a hindrance to the happiness of a black woman. While black women believe that they would change if the black man would, they use the excuse that since he won't change, they won't either. This attitude drains the lifeblood out of the black nation. The black man has a proven history of being in charge of his woman and his nation, and he does not have to be ashamed of his nature just because the black woman claims she can't follow him. She is the loser in this. The mystery, intrigue, and suspense the black woman perpetrates must stop. She uses behavioral modification techniques on the black man to force him to go along with her ideas about how he and she should be. Her ideas are clouded by Western society ideas, but she thinks that her opinions and ideas come from herself. They do not. As a result of having any ties, As a result of not having any ties to her cultural roots, she is open to any and all suggestions from any other race. If you don't have your belief system, someone else's belief system will become yours. She thinks that's how she is natural, and that she thinks that's how she is, and it's natural that her ideas are from a sequence of mathematical events which have evolved to produce who and what she is today. No nation can rise when the natural order of the behavior of the male and the female have been altered against their wishes by force. And this is not just the black man and the black woman. Look at America today, right? They're trying to force square pegs into round holes, and look what it's doing not only to society, the economy, the morale of the country. No species can survive if the female of the genus disturbs the balance of her nature by acting other than herself. The black woman does not accept the real definition of who she is. She thinks that she has several choices of how she can be. She'll choose randomly, and if her choice proves to be unsuccessful, she'll choose another. She may adopt several kinds of lifestyles and purposes during her adult tenure. She changes religions and opinions as easily as she changes her shoes. She does not realize that her floundering purposes destroy her nation and create unstable offspring. No family can be successful if all the members have different beliefs and value systems. There must be agreement on the unity of purpose and goals. The purpose must describe the principles by which the family will reach the goals. What blacks have in their family relationships now makes for disconnection and scattered family ties where there are no overall laws which are respected by all of the members. Thus, the black woman being the first teacher of the family members, since they are all born of a woman, must instill in the family children unified training and rules. There are some black women, as a result of emotionally traumatic childhoods, who do not get along well with their parents, especially their mother. They have been known to talk to her very disrespectfully and treat her badly. They are inconsiderate to her wishes and desires and have become so used to talking to her roughly that they do so in front of other people, who may be shocked and outraged that a daughter would treat her own mother in such an awful way. Many of these women are frustrated and blame their mothers for being the reason they are so confused and or unsuccessful in their adult relationships. Others treat them badly because they think they are in the way and try to butt into their business too much. No matter what the reason, no black woman should treat her mother, the one who brought her in the world, with disrespect. Albeit there may be just cause for the adult daughter to feel regret or hostilities, it is not right to verbally or physically abuse old people. Many older blacks are financially unable to support themselves, are too ill to live alone, or just desire to be with their grown-up children. When it is possible, the older parents should be allowed to have quarters in the same house, nearby, or even in the attic or basement of the home of the children if they have no place to go. Extended family members should not be rejected as useless because they are growing older, have ailments, or do not want to live alone. It's a great point. A great observation, I should say. We got Mike in the building. Super chat, appreciate you. Mike said, is water wet? Shit, trying to set up a decor. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. Neither should the black woman hassle the black man because he treats his mother better than she treats hers. Lifelong disagreements should be discussed and settled, with black men being the arbitrator if necessary. The black woman can have no real peace in her own life if she is carrying around unresolved hostilities or grudges against her own mother. This also goes for her relationship with her father as well. Often, black women who grew up without a fatherhead in the house, or who grew up overhearing her mother defame her father's name, or who saw activities she deciphered as bad treatment against her mother by her father, do not know how to live with a black man in peace. She brings a hidden agenda to the relationship of distrust and sometimes hate for all men, which may be deeply rooted in her childhood experiences with her own father or other menfolk in her household. A black woman who was raised in a broken home environment has no masculine mentor by which to pattern her behavior towards her own man. In this kind of situation, the only example she has of how to treat a man comes from television, movies, books, and magazines, plus her friends' experiences. She will have a tumultuous time adjusting to living with a man daily and treating him properly. She will be defensive, secretive, and suspicious. She will also be combative when challenged on her actions towards her man. She will also have a very difficult time raising her sons and daughters because she would not know how to teach them their proper and natural roles in life. Try as she may, unless she is given new instruction and information from another source, she will revert eventually to her own mother's behavior traits, even if she currently deplores the way her mother raised her. It is all that she knows. By the time she studies, listens, and learns how to behave to make her relationship successful or raise her children properly, it is often too late. The relationship with the man may be irretrievably, they spelled that wrong, irretrievably damaged, and the child may be grown. In addition to the wasted lifetime spent fighting against her man, she would be sending her own children off into the world ill prepared to get along with their mates. Thus, excuse me, guys. Thus the perpetuation of an inherited culture of family maladjustment is passed from one generation to the next, and problems of not knowing how to make successfully are then compounded by racism. All of these habits result in the black community being disorganized because none of the inhabitants know what they should be doing or why. The family structure remains the primary institution of learning. The Black people in America have commenced to recognizing and acknowledging the fact that Blacks do not know their history, where they came from, and therefore have no collective sense of direction about where they should be going. However, since no acceptable explanation or definition has been adopted as the official doctrine, Blacks remain emotionally disabled and psychologically disjointed. Over the years, the terminology has changed, the styles of expressions have changed, and each generation of Blacks continue to point outward, blaming socioeconomic pressures as the culprit. The last 300 years have theoretically been spent identifying the problems. Little has been done to eradicate them. The American government has been powerless to intervene on a social level to straighten out the Black family. It is not their responsibility anyway. It is the Black man's responsibility to straighten out his own family, starting with the woman. When he corrects her, he corrects his entire nation. He cannot do it alone because he does not raise the children by himself. He can set the example in his own home by treating his women and children right, being obedient and respectful to his own mother and father, and becoming steadfast in his determination to make a change. He and the men closest to him must meet and honestly take a look at the status of the Black family and their interpersonal relationships, and perhaps make agreements to make changes in their homes. Backpedaling around the issues and continuing to be scared of the Black woman has no place in getting this job done. The Black woman is in shambles because she does not understand the principles of familyhood. This is on page 79. We're going to the next chapter, Family Secrets. Or the next portion of this chapter, I should say. Family Secrets. Where we at? 9:47. Got a little bit more time. If the Black men ask the Black woman too many questions about her family background, or about what's going on in his own home, or in her day-to-day life, he is charged with being nosy or trying to get in her business. Black women keep secrets and assume that certain family activities and information are none of his business and do not affect him. If pestered, they will try to convince the Black man that his inquiries are connected to his nagging and prying ways. The Black man has every right to know what's going on in his own family and in his own home. If he does not know the internal workings of his own household, he is at a disadvantage since he has a plethora of responsibilities to his family, from protection to support. He cannot do his part when important minor or major information is kept from him. Sometimes the only way the Black man knows what's going on in his own home is to ask the children, or wait until somebody on the outside tells him. He is sometimes treated as an intruder in his own house. I understand this completely. Black women enlist their families, children, and girlfriends to keep information away from the Black man. Interestingly enough, they all cooperate in her scheme to keep the Black man from knowing the real truth about his environment. The end result of a Black man living and sleeping in quarters where he is not privy to what's going on is chaos. Usually the man is aware of certain ideas or activities floating in the atmosphere of his home or her home, but he does not know the origin. He doesn't have all the details. He can't make a fair assessment. He doesn't have all the variables, right? The more he presses, all of the involved parties profess denial and remain closed-mouthed out of loyalty to the woman. The more he presses to find out what's really going on, the more determined she becomes to keep secrets from him. Some are better at this than others. Lying is a practice literally all Black women participate in. Some of the lying goes on for years. It is a foregone conclusion that certain information and topics are purposely adjusted for the ears of the Black man. The Black woman claims that she kept secrets from the Black man because he doesn't understand or can't handle it, or that he won't like what's going on and give her a problem about it. She knows that certain kinds of foolishness and nonsense will be unworthy of his support and he will fight against it. Therefore, she thinks the only way she can operate and do her thing is to keep him from knowing about it. The Black woman's methods of depriving the Black man of necessary or crucial information are multifarious and subtle. If she is lying about something, all of her transactions are predicated on the Black man not finding out the truth. Her ability to cover up lies and disguise the truth is impersonal and matter of fact. She feels no guilt. Lies are a bleak necessity in her life to continue her tragic defiance against the black man. In rare moments, she may look over at him and see him struggling to live with her lies and sneakiness and may experience a glimpse of compassion. She knows she has lied for so long about things that it's impossible to go and tell the truth or erase them. For as far back as she can remember, she has been tricking him and playing some kind of game on his mind. Sometimes she lies just to keep him busy trying to figure out the truth. And it's like a game to her. The winner gets to have his or her way. Sometimes she lies because she believes that a few little white lies spice up the relationship and make it more interesting. She defends lying by claiming they add to the excitement and intrigue of keeping him guessing. She never considers the kind of unhappy, miserable personality it takes to need lies as a stimulus to make a relationship successful. This is some more nonsense she learned from television and magazine stories, right? Lying, oh, we're spicing it up. Oh, man, it's fun. I like In adhering to the theory that lies are permissible, she must also reject the authority of right and wrong. Her modern state-of-the-art values tell her that nothing is all right or all wrong. Be very wary, right, of people who say good and bad is relative, right? Be very wary of people who say it's a matter of perception. If right is right and wrong is wrong. Be very wary of those people. She deals with situation ethics. She lies or tells the truth depending on the situation. She obeys or is disobedient according to the situation, and is agreeable or disagreeable according to the situation. She has no overriding principles governing her life, whereby she is able to observe and make a determination about validity and use that decision as a constant. Her judgments are spontaneous and change. She is ruthless. It's a lot of men like that too. A lot of men are like that too. As she catches herself being too nice to the black man, she calls herself back to order because she does not want him to take her for granted or to decide that anything he does is okay with her. She has been told somewhere that black men like it when you treat them badly. And the fact that he keeps coming back for more makes her conclude that this must be true. She doesn't consider that the black man keeps coming back because he loves her and he hasn't given up on her. She never really believes that he loves her because she thinks that whether or not he loves her is dependent upon whether or not he is attracted to another woman. And if he does become attracted to another woman, that is the proof that he doesn't really love her. She doesn't feel safe and she doesn't feel qualified to be completely loved for being her natural self. So she keeps up a front around the black man because she thinks that her front is better than the real her. She is a strange human animal and a prime example, based on her thinking patterns, of the remnants of the limited mental and emotional development allowed during slavery and the need for complete secrecy of one's ideas. She represents the genetic mutation created from that period. She naturally rejects any explanation offered to her about the cause of her ambivalence. Yes, the job looks insurmountable. Her problems are rigid and she is possessed by an evil that is not her own. She is held mentally captive inside the barriers of Western civilization's ideas and practices. The mentally imprisoned black woman must be freed and called upon to rise and accept the reprieve offered to her by the black man to reunite her with her nation. The black man must be firm in this. He cannot practice weakness or be wimpy. He must take charge with as much force as required because it makes no sense to practice non-violence during war. And there is a war of the worst kind going on between the black man and the black woman over who is going to be the boss and who is going to lead the way. There is a severe penalty awaiting the black woman if she persists in fighting her battle through the children and in the bedroom. The black man must take on this challenge. The black woman's voiceless brain is crying out louder and louder for him to conquer her and to fight and destroy the ferocious demons inhabited in her head. What's good, B.E.? These demons are in form of bad ideas and bad morals. He must remember that she is not as tough as she acts. She is mostly a lot of mouth, but she can be a number of things, as already proven, but she cannot be a man, fellas. If the black man commissions a national project to put the black woman back in order and under his control, he would not be interfered with because the whole world knows that the black woman has been out of control for an inordinate length of time. The black man is the only one on earth who can restore her to herself, a beautiful, righteous woman, wife, and mother. We are moving on to chapter 8. This is on page 82. Money. We got 4 minutes left. We'll be done at 10 and we'll take it up again next week, guys. This is chapter 8, money, again on page 82. Again, thank y'all all for rocking with me. Replay gang, thank y'all for watching this back. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the video, like the video, dislike the video, whatever works for you. Money, chapter 8. As a rule, the black woman cannot be fully trusted in money matters between she and the black man. Somehow, she equates the amount of money a black man makes or spends on her with how much he loves her. If he takes her out, she expects from her fairy tale roots for him to lay out the red carpet. She expects to be entertained in the most opulent fashion rather than the most exclusive vehicle and be dressed to the hilt. If the man falters on any of the above, he is considered to be cheap and classless, and she will make a bad report about him to her friends. Lord have mercy, Jesus. 1989. Get down. What I'm looking for. Where is it? I didn't want Mr. Lego. Yep. 1989. 1989. Her meal may consist of the most extravagant entree, on the menu. She may no her, she may not eat a bite of it, but she wants the black man to prove that he will buy it for her anyway. She wants to be wined and dined, wooed and cooed, kissed and missed every weekend. She has so convinced the black man that money is what impresses her most that sometimes he too begins to believe that with money he can get her to do anything. Shout out to my boy Mike. So near the end of one of her expensive evenings out, she may drop a little hint to her date that she has no intention of bedding down with him for the night just because he took her out to dinner and spent a huge amount of money on her. If he protests, she becomes indignant and claims that she doesn't understand why he feels like that. If the black woman is married, it is an old adage amongst black women to advise each other to put something on the side for yourself. This is an old program. Recommend that the black woman steal a little money, a little at a time, and put it up for a rainy day. The rainy day is considered to be the day when the black man runs out on her and leaves her broke and alone. Going into a marital or living relationship that requires financial disclosure is therefore not a welcome commitment to the black woman because she believes she must maintain some financial security of her own. She hides a little money away, but of course, it required her to lie, steal, and cheat. She may have to skim off the grocery money, the charge accounts, or the utility bills, but she sneaks a few dollars here and there until she has a nice little nest egg. Generally, not enough to do anything big, but enough to perhaps do something special for herself. She repeats this process several times during a relationship and then launches into another lying process to explain where she got the newly purchased item from or to hide it away completely, wearing it or using it only when the man is not around. If she is working, she does not like the black man to know exactly how much she actually makes. She can't let him count my money, so she slides around the topic wherever it comes up or hides her pay stubs. She considers money as a private matter, not to be overly discussed or shared. As long as she plays her part of the bills or whatever the arrangement, she believes she should mind his own business. Disclosure will prevent her from manipulating the budget. If she does put her money into the home community pot, she often maintains her ownership by referring to her contribution as my money. And any money she earns, she considers her money instead of our money. That is our time. We are on page 84, going into the second chapter on that page, guys. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. I was late, or 9, who knows. But thank y'all so much for coming through. I say again, everybody comes for the drama and the bad talk, but no one stays for reading. If you want to hide something, put it in the book. So that's all I got, guys. Y'all have a great night. Please be safe out there. Love those who love you, man. Take care of yourself and your family. Everybody else, everything else. What's wrong with my head today? Everything else will take care of itself, man. It's hump day. Y'all halfway through the week. Shout out to my people. Happy birthday. Happy born day to my boy Ronan. Today is his birthday. If y'all get a chance, if y'all see Ronan on any of these platforms or his channel, make sure y'all give him a shout out. Over there, if you follow him over there on Instagram, today is my man's birthday. Shout out to you, my guy. Y'all have a great night, man. Be easy.